Good morning, fam. So we're going to go ahead and do a muted version. I'm not going to say a muted version, a condensed version of the weekly options forecast today. I'm just going to hop right into things. By watching or reading this, you're saying you understand the following. I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not trading advice. This session is solely for educational purposes. There are significant financial risks associated with options trading, and I'm not liable for your wins or losses in the market if you decide to act on this information. All right, so let's just go ahead and jump right into the order flow for options. And we're going to start with Friday. So Friday, top options flow went into Amazon, followed by Tesla, Silver, Google, and TLT. On the flip side, for the short side, the puts, the top options flow went into ARM, VRST, MSTR, Lilly, and Berkshire Hathaway. For the week, the top call options flow went into MSTR, NVIDIA, CRWV, Robinhood, and Palantir. On the flip side, ARM, Tesla, Google, Netflix, and VRST. Look, we're going to talk about something for a second. I want to show y'all. So you see how on Friday for the call options flow, we had the top flow went into Amazon and Tesla, right? Followed by silver. And for the week, the top call options flow went into MSTR, right? But look, for on from Friday, just one day of price action showed, or just one day of trading, I'll say, the top put options flow was in MSTR, but that doesn't dictate the full week. The full week was bullish for MSTR. So you can't let one day dictate the entire situation. So it depends on what you're looking at and how you're trading. And so, depend. We always talk about every chart telling a story, and the time frame that you watch should be is contingent on the time, how long you're planning on holding the trade. So just keep those things into perspective. And, when you're looking at the flow as well. So just because something is hot for today or for the moment doesn't mean that if you're swinging that's going to be a continuation trade, right? So just keep those things in mind when you are trading. That's something important to note. And I'm taking some notes here. When I'm looking at the flow, I start taking notes. So let's just make a few notes here. It's literally 4 a.m. right now, but I wanted to get this meeting done for my team because that's what we do. And so we're getting it done. Notes because this is going to be a chart heavy meeting. We're going to cover economic data. We're going to cover Eli Lilly. We're going to cover I just led with Eli Lilly, right? Interesting stuff. MSTR, of course, Tesla and Meta. So I'm going to skip a lot of stuff because I want to make sure that I get through the charts. Because I know everybody want me to hit these charts. A few things I need to hit. Earnings season started. Everybody wants to hear about Netflix. And I get it. I get it. Trust me, I get it. It will not disappoint. Second, just let them know in the group, like, the meeting is live right now, like in real time. Um, literally recording live as we speak. Yeah, we got CPI this week. We got a lot of economic data. So I just thought it would be important to make sure that we get this meeting done. Earnings season start this week. Just a lot going on. But anyhow, I just made my notes. Let me just go ahead and move on. All right. So I'm not gonna go through the profits and stuff because I didn't, we still and we're mid-July, so I update the slides once a month, at the end of each month. So we know what we did. So you see as of from January 2nd through June 26th, our average weekly profit is $1,600. Our average monthly profit is $6,600. Our average profit per trade is 198%, generated over $39,875 for my team. These profits are generated these are basically per net profits based on purchasing just one contract per trade alert. The ROI on the 250 membership is 15.9 thousand%. It's the ROI. And for the $175 per membership, it's 22.7 thousand% ROI. That's amazing. So look, let me just say one thing though. Look, even let's just say hypothetically, the numbers are off, right? Let's just say that if they're off, what are they off by, like $100 or $200, maybe roughly, maybe 500 most, depending on where you take profit. Some people don't take profit where others do, but the numbers are accurate. And we have a public ledger in the community, whether you pay or whether you are a free member, where you can just look through every single one of those trades that were alerted. Discord will show if you edit a trade or edit anything, it's going to put an edit next to it, so things aren't edited, and you can go back and research the data. If you really want to be technical, you can go back and look and see when trades got called out and see what the stock actually did that day. And you can, with the market, you can go down to as low as a 1 minute chart to see exactly when a trade was called out, and you can go. All of this information is you can research it. So yeah, we really out here killing it with just one option per trade alert, one contract. You don't have to risk a lot of money capital to make money around here. So yeah. All right, we'll move on. So yeah, I'm not gonna go through this. Like I said, these are our profits, our net profits for every. If you want to see this, because again, I haven't updated these slides yet, because we're still in July. You can look at last week's meeting, and I went through all of these slides, so you can see them all. I just want to kind of move along. It's like 4 a.m. here, Eastern Standard Time, and I just want to get this meeting done for my team. They want to know about Netflix, so and I advertised about Netflix, so I got to give them Netflix. So market talk though, but I do want to say this though before I move on. We crush every single month in the market, right? In this community. And even right now in the month of July, we had a few trades that got cut, a few meta trades that got cut. And that didn't work out the way we wanted them to work out, stuff like that. But every week we still end it with a net profit, right? But how do I feel about this month thus far? I don't feel like, mediocrity isn't an option, even when it comes to my own performance. And I'll say this, I'll just putting this on the record. I'm not proud of my performance over the last 2 weeks. I'm like, I've been doing a lot of traveling, and so I just haven't been trading as much, and that's fine. But I do know what my team is used to, and I can sit here and be diplomatic or politically correct and say, well, I don't have to trade every day, and I don't have to do this, and I don't have to do it. And that's true. But I know what my team is used to, And I'm gonna let y'all know I do keep score around here. And and my performance over the last 2 weeks, I would say mediocre at best because I haven't been trading as much. And normally if I cut a trade or something like that, I'll follow that up that maybe most of the time that same day with another trade and blast, how we do around here. But I've been doing a lot of traveling and I've been doing a lot of traveling and that's fine. And I don't overtrade. And then another thing that's important to note is that, and these aren't excuses, these are reasons, but I did preface this by letting you know I believe that my performance has been mediocre over the last 2 weeks. So it ain't like I'm not making excuses. But I haven't been taking a lot of trades, and there are different types of trades where I would typically take like that I haven't been taking because, for example, I told y'all last week I was eating that whole meta trade, right? And I said if I have to eat that meta trade, we were going to make some changes. So some of those changes are, and I think yeah, was that 2 weeks ago? Yeah, 2 weeks ago when I said that. Yeah. So the changes that have been made are like if I know I'm not going to be stationary, there are certain trades I'm not going to alert because typically I'll alert a trade and I'll say with the meta trade that I ate the whole cost of was a trade where I literally recorded a 4-minute video for the team, letting them know, right? If this happens, this is going to happen. And if Meta lose this level, it's going all the way down here. So this is the structure, and this is the structural situation. We were looking for more upside for Meta, but I said we have to be realistic and play both sides of this situation. If it lose this level, it's going here. You have to get both sides. And the team, a lot of people they didn't interpret that, and I was just like, wow. So I feel like a lot of people just didn't look at the Market Talk channel, which is a channel where only I can type. So it's no way that everything can get drowned in there, where when we're talking about the stocks and stuff that we should be, or our plan it's not like other commentary can cover it up and it can get lost in the sauce, right? But so yeah, but this is a business at the end of the day, and reputation is and integrity is important. So, and it's not like, oh, well, I'm gonna be petty now because the team didn't follow instructions. But no, I gotta really have to restructure things because I'd rather you miss money than lose money. So, like I said, I'll call my performance mediocre because I know what y'all used to. When the ducks are hungry, I feed the ducks, right? So, and I've been real um muted lately, and so I can sit here and blame it on me being on vacation, but my team will tell you this also. When I'm on vacation, I call some of my best trades, but like I said, it's like I'm used to being able. See, but I'm gonna tell y'all something else though. So you heard what I just said. When I'm on vacation, I call the best trades. And most of the time when I'm on vacation, I set and forget, meaning like I'm able to just put the team in a trade and give them the targets and everything and they just be able to handle it. But you remember what I just said. But when things are going great, if I write out a blueprint to a bank robbery, and send the team on this mission and everything goes great, it goes off without a hitch. It's easy to follow instructions because even if you miss a step, it went off without a hitch. So you didn't have to draw from what you know and to know. You didn't have to draw from what you already knew or your preparation to get through that situation because it carried you by itself. You know what I'm saying? Like I always tell the team on some days, I don't do anything. I'm like, the market did what it was supposed to do today. Even a caveman could have made money today. I tell my team that a lot. So that's just the humbleness in what I do. Let you know, yeah, we planned this. And yeah, I saw that whole story and the market structure played out to perfection. Um, but anybody could have made money today. You know what I'm saying? So we got to look at things that way. But on the times where, those open book tests occur, a lot of y'all failing them open book tests. And again, it is what it is. But like I said, I have to be more restrained when I'm traveling or when I know like I have appointments. So even if I wasn't traveling and I'm just, laid back or doing other things or one of my off days, I still have to be more restrained because I'm like, yo, I literally I went above instead of me just putting in some text in the chat and saying, well, this level here and this level here. I literally took time to go into TradingView and record a video that was on of like 4 minutes long, specifically about Meta, and nobody was able to really follow it, and everybody lost the money. But I'm gonna tell you, a lot of people just don't got the discipline when I say when it comes to losing money or letting something go, people can't do it because they're over leveraging a lot of times, and that's a big problem. And again, I don't want to carry it on too long because I want to get this meeting over. So, but I just wanted to say, so yeah, I know. I feel like, I know my performance hasn't I haven't been calling out as many trades, but like I said, I got different things. Then we created a new channel. I created a new channel with more advanced traders in there, the ones who I can trust to follow instructions. And so I alerted it was an MSTR trade that I alerted last week that the whole team didn't get. Only the people who were added to the hands off plays. So I literally have a new channel called hands off plays. So meaning, so when on days where I'm not holding your hand and holding the back of the bike, I can alert a trade and trust that you're going to follow the instructions, so you didn't just jump off the porch and jump into a casket because you followed the instructions. You came into the community, you went through the onboarding materials, you know where everything is, you know where market talk is. So some people just jumped in this community and went straight into where the plays get called out at. So they skipped over market talk, probably aren't even getting notifications for that channel. But if they watch the onboarding video that I recorded myself, they'll know where everything is. So you set up for success around here. Unless you skip the process, now you bought this new chair and you just didn't read the instructions, and now you got all of these screws left over. But the chair works. But then when you go to lower yourself, now in the chair is stuck down there. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta the instructions are there for a reason. You weren't supposed to have those extra bolts left over. So in this situation here, the Market Talk channel is very important. If you're listening to this meeting and you don't have Market Talk channel enabled, then you're doing yourself a disservice. Now we talked about this in the onboarding video also, and let me move on. But I just wanted to say this last thing: if you don't see certain channels, you can enable those channels. There's an option in Discord, and I'm not going to cover it right now. I want you to go watch the onboarding video. So whether you're a paid member or not, you have access to the onboarding video. Let's move along. So yeah, we got economic data. Let's go right into it, right? Then I'll get back to chart setups. So I'll start with the Fed speakers. So Tuesday morning, we have Bowman speaking at 9:15 a.m. We have Barr. Why is Barr coming out there? Okay, Barr is coming out at 12:45 p.m. We'll be listening then to what Barr has to say. Barkin's coming out Tuesday at 1 p.m. Damn, they sending Collins out there at Tuesday at 2:45 p.m. Pay attention to Collins. Collins, she's very opinionated, and she can say things that moves the market. So please pay attention to her. They got Logan coming out there Tuesday. This is at 7:45 p.m. What's up with these Fed levies? Yeah, so we have when you see that many feds out there like that, I consider them levies to either dictate the market in one way or the other because yeah, so but let me keep moving on. But so that's a lot of Fed levies they have out there. We have Barkin on Wednesday at 8 a.m., Hammock Wednesday at 9:15 a.m., Bar again. Hmm. Wednesday at 10 a.m. We got Williams at 6:30 p.m. That's after the close, obviously. We got Kugler at 10 a.m. Thursday, Daily at 12:45 p.m. Pay attention to Daily. Daily is another one who moves the market when she comes out and speaks. So just pay attention to it. And, so if you're in trades, this is important. People wonder why I go through the Fed speakers a lot because if you're in plays, you want to know if you for some reason your trade may just stop working all of a sudden or just some extreme volatility comes in the market. It can be because of something that Daly said. So just pay attention. We got Cook. They're sending her out there Thursday at 1:30 p.m. and Waller, another wild card, Thursday at 6:30 p.m. but after the close. Economic data. You see, we have a full calendar for this week, right? We got CPI coming in tomorrow. So look, well, right now, so like I said, it's four something in the morning right now while I'm recording this on Monday morning. And so we got CPI tomorrow morning, CPI tomorrow morning. They just threw CPI in the mix. Just came out of nowhere, right? Just seems like it. We got NY Fed Manufacturing Index Tuesday. We got PPI on Wednesday, Industrial Production Wednesday. We got retail sales data Thursday, jobless claims Thursday, Philly Fed Manufacturing Index Thursday, building permits, housing starts, consumer sentiment on Friday, and inflation expectations on Friday. All right. We're gonna go into a few things now. Y'all know the start of earnings season. So on earnings season is upon us. So it's gonna be a lot of volatility. And that's another thing. I told my team last week too. I said I was gonna be a little bit more muted and restrained because I was saving my money for higher probability setups during, earnings season. So, a lot of it, yeah. So we got a whole second half of this month. So just be ready. Be ready. We got a lot going on. Let me make another note for another chart here. Oh shit. I did not mean to do that. Oops, I just did something that I should not have done. Delete. So my team is up. They're watching. I said I'm on the meeting live, so they could have hopped on. Sec. All right, cool. Let me just switch my screen and we are live with charts. I'm just gonna go right into these charts. Why not? Why not just go right into charts, right? That's what you want anyway. All right, so I'm gonna start with SPX. And I'm starting with SPX for a number of reasons, but we're just gonna start with SPX. All right. So SPX, you see, we got it. We have it flagging right here on the daily chart, right? So, and we got like a flag forming here. You see the last flag we had and kind of got a nice little gap. Now, again, these consolidation clusters, they can go one way or the other and look like it's a big possibility that we get a nice move on this if all things are true, right? So here we go. Over over 62, 69, 44. I'm looking for a retest of 62.90, 22. Now, if we lose 62, 37, 60, I'm looking for a move down here to 62, 28, 12, and then we can possibly make because we see we got a support level here. Let me just mark this up. I really didn't want to mark this chart at all because I got a lot of charts where I got levels everywhere, and it lines up perfectly with the non-EMA, the non-EMA. So keep this on watch again. I think it holds up, but if not, then we got some levels that we could retest, and we got some all-time highs that we could break. So let's just keep it on watch. Again, I think when earnings season starts, a lot of things now. Netflix is up first. Well, after the banks, but we got Netflix up first, meaning of the big tech, the stocks that can really move the market, and Netflix is up next. So we just got to see what Netflix is gonna do. And you see, I got Netflix on the screen already, so I'm gonna go ahead and get Netflix out the way because I know some of y'all here for Netflix, and I'm gonna make sure I just get it out of the way for you. And let me just, I'm gonna post this chart too. I'm being proactive, while I'm doing this meeting, and since it's 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm posting charts in real time as I am doing this because that's just what I'm doing. Looking out for my team. The SPX chart. I need a notepad, man. What happened? We remember notepads? We used to use notepads for everything, and now we're there we go. I got my notepad there. I'm working through it, guys. I'm working through it. Just bear with me here. Let me cook. Just let me cook. And let's go to Netflix. Here's Netflix. So you know Netflix is so I was talking to my team last week about this, and I was telling them that I was we don't play earnings as a team a lot because earnings are risky, and no matter how great of a trader you are, earnings is based off of whether, a company can have the best setup in the world. If they miss earnings, a stock can miss earnings and then everything come crashing down, or they could beat earnings, but then they guide down, meaning their forecast for either the next quarter or the following year or whatever, or the rest of the year may not match what the numbers say. And then it'd be like, and so the stock drops off of that. Because remember, a lot of things are priced in. When you see a stock running, it's because of stuff that they already said on the last earnings call, and that they already predicted or said what's going to happen for the or so when people start buying the stock or whatever, it's because of something that's priced in that they already said was going to happen. So sometimes when a stock drops, it drops because it didn't meet those expectations. Or you see a stock like Tesla that's running in the pre-market while everything else was down. It's because Tesla's, all of the bad news is already priced in. Elon already dragged the stock to hell while he was beefing with Trump. So it's just kind of hard for the stock to continue going down at that point when it's at what is that key levels and at people buy zones and stuff like that, right? Demand zones where bulls come in and defend it. But anyhow, let's go to Netflix. But I said all of that to say that I told my team, I said, look, we're not going to play Netflix earnings because they're pricing in $100 move for the stock. And I don't think it's going to move $100. And then if it doesn't move $100, that means you get IV crushed. So it has to move at least $100 in order for you not to get IV crushed if earnings were to start tomorrow or today. Let's say that. If earnings were today, if earnings was today, then the stock would need to move $100 in order for you not to get IV crushed. So, but look what happened here. Every chart tells a story. And so we got the stock pulled back down to a mini support level, and I'm calling it that for a reason. We got a few places where it could actually move, right? And I like how it came down here, bounced, and huh. So from there is a few places that the stock could go that that could possibly send it back to back over $100 move. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, just saying. I'm gonna show y'all a few things. Just give me a sec because I'm doing this in real time. And like I said, it's 4 a.m. So it's like it's 5 a.m. now. But here we go. So and that's what I'm gonna tell y'all. So what the way my team is we typically play a stock like this. Is we'll play it the day after earnings. We're not gonna what's the no reason to play it for earnings and risk. And plus Netflix is very, excuse me, expensive and the earnings print isn't until Thursday. Let me cook for a second. I gotta break this down because there are a lot of people watching this for Netflix earnings, right? And there are people here who join this community who've seen us and a lot of earnings plays and they are here for that, right? And I just want to tell you this. Don't blow your account on Netflix earnings. And just trust me on this. Do not blow your account on Netflix earnings. And it's because let me just tell you, their earnings aren't until Thursday. So if Netflix doesn't have earnings until Thursday, and you you would be buying a contract, if you were going to play it, you would be buying a contract that expires the next day. So no matter whatever, so if they IV crush that contract, you don't have much time to recoup anything if the stock does make a move. And today is Monday. Netflix is going to be expensive regardless. Now, if I was to normally, if I would call out a Netflix trade like on a regular week for my team, it would be it would be it would be like around a Wednesday or Thursday when the contracts are like the theta is higher on those contracts, or the theta decay then ate most of the premium up on a lot of those contracts, and so they're like half off or sometimes even 75% off on those contracts. But in situation, since Netflix earnings isn't until Thursday after the close, the IV on those contracts is going to be extremely high up until the print. So even if you say, I'm gonna grab something for next week, you're gonna be spending over $1,000 to get into the trade. And it's just not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it when you can just trade it the day after earnings and after they clap everybody else and you get the contracts on sale and you can just trade it for Lotto Friday or something like that, if there's an opportunity to trade it. So, but let's just talk for right now. You see, I just put the levels here. There's a few ways I could have done this because as you can see here, um, stock came up here, broke down here, but it's been holding up pretty well. And you see it kind of lines up with the 50-day EMA here. So what I'll say for Netflix at this point is if you want to just do an earnings run-up trade, like I'm just telling you, it's still going to be expensive. I urge everyone to stay away from Netflix until after earnings. That's just what I'm going to tell you. Now, everybody going to do what they want to do, but I'm just telling you. Now, if my thoughts change on this, I'll talk to my team about it Thursday morning on our live stream. So that's just how that goes. But right now I'm just telling y'all what I feel about Netflix. But yeah, so just for a regular trade, if you're just looking to trade it anyhow, over calls over 1261, right? So over 1261 is where we look for calls. So over, as a matter of fact, nope, nope, nope. Yeah. So yeah, over 1261. So over 1261, we're looking for calls there. But what I was gonna say, I wouldn't touch it until they get over 1262. So over 1262.23. And my first target would be 1272.42. And my next target would be 1291.35, so on. Now, if it was to lose 1231.30, my first target would be 1216.22. Yeah, so that's right there at the 50. You see there's a 1581 there also. And we got 1206.18. Let me give you another level for the downside, just so we can be on point with everything that's going on here with this stock. Because again, there's a lot happening. Yeah, so right there, 12, I'm sorry, yeah, so 1197, 12, it's a few levels. I'm gonna be realistic with y'all because again, like Netflix been on the move, but I like that comfortable. I'm gonna tell y'all, like, but just realistically and honestly, I like that pullback right there on the stock. I think that's a healthy pullback heading into the print. I think so. And Netflix is expensive, but it has room still. It does have room. I mean, they have a lot of price. Netflix has a lot of free cash flow, so they can do whatever they want. They have a lot of free cash flow. So we'll see what happens. And they don't give guidance anymore. I mean, they don't give subscriber numbers anymore. So they really don't. The subscriber numbers with Netflix has always been the thing. So what they said the last year in 2024 was the last time they would give subscriber numbers. They said unless something spectacular happens. So they basically said they're only going to give us the subscriber numbers if they are amazing. So they found a way to not give us the subscriber numbers and cause ruckus. So now the analysts can't use the subscriber data as a metric anymore. Let's move on. Tesla. Here is Tesla. So I'm gonna clean this chart up some. Clean this up. Not a lot going on. Yeah, clean this up some. Some of this doesn't need to be here any longer. And this was my clean version of my charts, man. I have a few charts and they aren't very clean. All right, so here we go. This is a weekly chart. I had to come to the weekly to clean it up a little bit more and to get my trend together. When in doubt, zoom out. Right. So you see Tesla's trying to turn the corner here. It's trying to turn the corner here on the MACD. Um, didn't have a whole lot of volume or too high volume on Friday, but it was pushing. It reclaimed the 9 EMA after bouncing off the 200-day EMA. And well, yeah, went down. It reclaimed it, I'll say. And it closed just here at the 50. It looked like it was going to close over the 50 and just closed just at the 50 here. So for Tesla, we have a few places where price can go here. I'm just going to mark up a few areas just for you to keep an eye on for the stock because you want to just keep an eye on it. And so here for Tesla, over calls over 314.09 for a, I say 314.09, looking for a move up to, so over 314.09. My first target would be 316.23, 320.08, 322.14, 325.86, 332.07. If we lose 309.65, look for a retest of 300. That's the 200-day EMA right there. And it's a psychological level. We lose that. Look for a retest of 294.65 and possibly 288.69. But Tesla looks pretty good. Looks pretty good right now. It's my team. We swung calls on Tesla. Yeah. Let's go ahead and cover. Oops, hold on. Let me put this chart. Put this Netflix chart in the chat because that's what they want. The Netflix daily chart in the chat with the levels. All right, cool. So let me move on. BA. BA. Bowen has been on a tear lately, and I wish I had my other chart here. I don't have it up here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and find the gap fill and I'll redraw it here. I told my team last week if it reclaimed, if BA got over 220, then it was going back to 233, and it's on the move. It's on the move. So every chart tells a story. So I like to come in here and see what story the chart is telling, and we go from there. So that's what I'm doing right now. And here, helping with the story of painting, come in here and paint the picture, right? Well, the chart is painting its own picture. I'm just making it easier to see, I'll say. Here we go. Mark up a few areas on here, and it would be a nice retest. All right. So was that a bullish engulfing on Friday? Let's see. Yes, it was. So we finished with a 312 Chicago on the daily with a bullish engulfing. This was Boeing. And I know a few of my team members swung Boeing calls because that we are like that. That's what we do. Right. And so I'll say for now, calls over 228.74 for a move to 230.20. The next target would be 233.99. Then you're already in a gap fill at that point. You'll be in a bearish gap fill area. And so the from there, I see a pathway all the way up here to 244, 92 on there. So if we were to lose 225.43, look for a retest of 219.36 and possibly drop even lower, but I'm under 219.36, 218. Now, my thing is stock has been riding up the 90 and made a whole time since it reclaimed it. So a healthy retest of the 90 MA, I wouldn't be mad at if we were to get a pullback. So that's where you would re-enter the trade on that pullback because you see the 90 MA kind of slightly lines up here with this support level here. So that'll be a cool area for a retest if it was to come back down. Excuse me. So keep that on watch. Mouth dry as hell. It's early in the morning. But I like Bowen. It's a nice chart. It has a lot of levels to extend to if we were to continue to move up. Oh yeah, another thing. This is another bullish because we talk about catalysts around here. I'm gonna give you another catalyst. So over after the market closed on Friday, India, the FAA, and and their whoever the people who are investigating that crash that killed all those people, that Boeing plane crash, right? They determined, right, that it was not a plane defect. It wasn't nothing wrong with the engines. It was something that the pilot did not do. So it was not an issue with the airline itself. It was a food the fuel switch is cut off before Air India crash, And so they said it was the pilot that was at fault. So yeah. So Boeing started to move in the after hours. So that's a bullish situation right there. Stock pulled back a lot when that happened, when the crash happened. No one knew what was going on. So I just wanted to give y'all an update on that. That's a catalyst too. So yeah. Um Google. Look at this Google chart. So Google has been breaking up because Google had a nice pullback down. I mean, when you zoom out a little bit, that still look like a oh no, it doesn't, not anymore. No, it doesn't. But I saw a bear flag at first, but it can be a rising wedge. And a lot of things happening here. So, but as long as the trend continues, trend is your friend, right? And the trend is your friend, but I'm just letting y'all know what I saw. Like it's gonna look a little bear flagish. But I think Google looks really great. Looks good. It's been making a lot of moves higher. So it's been reclaiming some levels because it was extremely oversold. And so now it's pushing higher. And I like it. I like it. I like it. And like I said, we heading in the earnings season. So it's a lot of things that's going on. And yeah, I'm not really feeling Google moves too slow for me as a stock, but I don't mind it as a trade every now and then for the team, but it just moves too slow for me. I gotta clean this chart up. I said that a moment ago, but but you see we have a on for the non EM I'm sorry, the 50 EMA is crossing the 200 EMA. So we have a golden cross. I'm gonna turn them off. Matter of fact, they cool, they can stay on. They can stay on for now. So just to let y'all know, the ones with the dotted lines, like so the yellow with the dotted line is my 200 moving average, and the yellow solid line is my 200 EMA. The green solid line is my 50 EMA, and the green dotted line is my 50 moving average. Okay. So yeah. I typically use the exponential, but you have to see what's going on. So that's why I have them both on. And as you can see, price bounced off of the 200 moving average, reclaimed the 50 and took off. And that's where Google is right now with what is that? Is that a 3-1-2 up also? Yes, it is. So a 312 up here on Google. And so, like I said, we can get a nice a move higher for Google. It look like it wants to go higher. So we're gonna see what the stock is up to, and we're gonna follow the price higher with Google. I mark it up on the weekly, but sometimes we gotta zoom in, do some surgery on that weekly candle, and see if we can find any levels within reason on the lower time frames that we will be trading for intraday, right? So that's why we do surgery on those candles as well. All right, so here we go. So I'll say calls over 181.43 for a move to 140. Sorry, calls over 181.43 for a move to 182.43. The next target after that would be, what is that, 185? And then we got 180, because 185 is the 52-week high. Then we have 186.53. And then we have a few levels up higher from 190.39. If we were to lose, if we lost 176.48, look for a retest of the 200 moving average at 172.78, and then probably 171.25 once, and then but as long as we hold this uptrend, we're fine, because we want to keep the structure intact. And so as long as it holds it, it's fine. But if it loses it, then we got a bear flag. It's bear flag city. It can come all the way down. Now look, they got earnings in a few weeks, so, and this is riding up. And I'm gonna tell y'all, this is a bearish pattern regardless of how you look at it. I'm gonna tell you, but structures are to be broken. So, structures work in both ways. Now we got because this is a rising wedge pattern. A rising wedge pattern is bearish because it rises up and then price falls out the bottom of it. But this is also a bearish flag. I love my flags. Here's the flagpole right here, and then here's the consolidation creating the flag. As long as price stays within this channel, and this is a nice range to play. But if it breaks down, then we got a long way down, for it to go. So, I mean, earnings couldn't do such a move, or it could break out and go up higher and close that gap, because, we created that gap fill on a previous situation, a previous earnings situation here, when price gapped down. So it would likely go up and fill the gap, but we got to way up in this channel. As long as the channel is intact, everything is fine. But yeah, keep Google on watch. Where am I going now? APP, APP. Yeah, I'm gonna hit APP first. APP. Let me get this out of here. Yeah. So APP finished down here near a nice key area. But let me just put some more levels on this chart. Well, first, when I pulled this chart up, saw something different than what I saw before. That's why we always talk. Like, sometimes I'll come back. I tell my team, look, man, I'm coming back with fresh eyes. You come back with fresh eyes, you see things you didn't see before. And it's just like writer's block or something like that. You come back with fresh ideas, and that's what you do. I'm not going to force a trade or anything if I don't, come back with fresh eyes sometimes, man. As soon as I came here, I saw that. So, yeah, we're doing today, man. Let's get these charts done. Get these charts out to my team. And yeah, I like app loving. It's expensive. It's very expensive, and it will humble you very quickly. So yeah, I try to tell people to stay away from it, but people want to trade it anyhow. It's just a very dangerous stock to trade, and it's very unforgiving, like Meta. So just be careful trying to trade app loving. Oops, so I didn't mean to use that one. That one is the wrong one. There we go. There we go. Cool. So for app loving, like I said, we got a little bear flag situation happening here, as you can see, and price has bounced off this level twice before. Well, now it's the third time it held the level. So, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good for right now. And but what we got to cover, we have to be realistic with with the chart and just trade with what the market gives us. So what I'm gonna say is over 345, over 346. Let's just give it some margin. Over 346, because that put us over the 50 also. So over 346. I'm looking for a retest of 354.84. So over 346. I'm looking for a retest of 354.84 and then 360 at 364.52. If we lose 332.32, 329.97 is back in play. Then we got 319.34. Then we're in a gap fill and we'll likely retest the 200 moving average down there at 302.39. So keep app loving on watch. It's bear flagging right now, but it is holding the bottom of the flag. So we just have to play what it gives us and move on. Lily, beautiful bullish flag right here on the daily. So yeah, we got Lily here, and it's sold up. Look, there was a lot of bear flow going into Lily, but look at this. All right, we have 4 green days in a row with Lily. We got a green oscillator bar right here on MACD, and we got the MACD line crossing the signal line. It's trying to sneak up here without no one knowing what's going on, and finished just under his 200-day EMA, but it's closed over the non-EMA and the 50, right? So let me just show y'all what's going on. Look at this, man. Let me zoom out for a second first. So here's the weekly chart on Lily. You can see a huge bullish flag right here on the weekly, but look at this. It was a smaller one right here. Look, bullish flag. Hold up. Look, bullish flag after bullish flag after bullish flag on Lily. Then it broke down. But we got a really, if you zoom out, and I can show you this even cleaner on a monthly probably. Here's a huge flag right here within that flag. So it's big consolidation cluster here, and it's in the middle here, right here on the weekly. Matter of fact, just for kicks, I'm gonna zoom out a second and look at the monthly. You see what I mean, though? You see what I mean? Do you see what I mean? When you look at the weekly chart, a monthly chart, we got even a bigger setup here on Lily. So yeah, we got full time frame continuity right now on Eli Lilly. And so we got a bullish flag right here in this situation. So let me just put a few levels here and we're gonna talk. Let me give you the plan for Lily. Because you gotta keep an eye on certain stocks, man. Regardless of what's going on in certain stocks, you have to keep an eye on. And Lily is one of those stocks, man. Here we go. So I'll say over, and we're gonna give this some margin too, because this one is one of them ones you want to give it a little margin. I'm gonna say over not over 797. So over 797. So that's 797.67. Let's just give it the whole thing. Over 797. Over 797. Over 797. I'm looking for a retest of 805. 811.57. Then we got the 200 moving average at 811.62 right there. And we go high, a lot higher. You see all the levels I have up there because I told y'all what was going on the weekly and the monthly also. What I'm going to do is set a level here. So I'm going to put a alert here. So when it clears this 200 EMA, we'll get a price alert here on Lily. Let me just go ahead and make my notes. What am I gonna put in here for my team so they'll know exactly what to do? What should I say? I'm gonna say Lily. Let's see, Lily, just Took out. Really just took out the trigger for calls. Please check lower time frame for setup. Most likely I'll learn to trade myself, but I like to have something there for them to see on their own if this happens. Oops, I forgot to put got to close it up. See, that's where you forget sometimes. It reminded me. Good. So we got our alert here for Lily to the upside. Now, if Lily was to lose 770, 777.20, look for a retest. I said 777.20, yeah. So look for a retest of 771.89. Then we got 770.81 that's the 50 moving average. And then we got 758.49. But keep Lily on watch. I like what I'm seeing here. And Lily, it's one of them ones. Just a moment, team. My alarm is going off. Hold on. Just a sec. Okay, I'm back. But yeah, keep Lily on watch. Meta platforms. Meta, oh, damn. So you look, this is one of my cleaner charts. Uh, profiles, but every single profile that I have, Meta is the lines everywhere. You know how much I trade this stock. I like the way Meta closed on Friday. It held support. The structure is still intact here on Meta platforms, and so I just wish yeah, I'm not gonna trip about the chart. It's just y'all know I trade Meta a lot, so it just is what it is, man. You should have your own. Just follow the structure, and that's all that matters. Meta looks great. Meta looks great. So Meta's still intact to go higher. And that's what it's about. The structure is intact, and Meta's at the bottom of the range here. I like the way it closed here, and I like how the structure, the bottom of the uptrend, it lines up with the support level there as well. So I like what I'm seeing from Meta here. Let me get this out of here. Meta looks great. So let me show you how the weekly too. This is the weekly chart. So we're still making higher highs, you know. So let's just see what Meta does, what the market does. And right now the market is eating up those tariff headlines from Trump over the weekend that dragged everything down in the futures last night. But yeah, so Meta here, let's just start. So we do got what is that? A 222 reversal to the downside here. Meta came down here, bounced off support and the bottom of this uptrend. But it lost the 9 EMA right there. So we'll see. We'll have to just follow and see what Meta does. I think it bounces right here for a continuation higher. But it doesn't matter what I think. It matters about what happens with what the price action does, right? So we'll say over 725.16. Look for a let's just over. So let's just say this over over 725. Yeah, give Meta some margin. So over 725.97, 725.97. I'm looking for a retest of 730.61. And then from there, we can go a lot higher. I got a few levels, but let me just mark it. Because I mean, we can get some movement here off the stock, obviously, right? You see Meta want to move. So 730, 61, 736, 36, and we got 747, 90 up there. So that's the all-time high currently for Meta. If we were to lose, if we were to lose 709.70, look for a retest. Yeah, so we lose 709.70, and then we will retest 703.46. Now, we can see what Meta does around 700. They might stop, they might save it right there at 700, but if not, we got 794. I'm sorry, yes, 694.51. 686.06 and so on to the downside. That's if that structure break is over. That'll be a long way down for Meta if the structure break. But I want y'all to pay attention to this weekly because look what happened the last times. We came up here, hit all-time high, and we flushed down. That didn't quite happen this last time. And plus, we got to also put the things into perspective, into the proper context. The whole market was doing things around then too. Right now, Meta came up here. We did hit all-time highs and we came down, but it stopped right here at a previous support. Came down here, retested that support again. Yeah, we got a 222 reversal to the downside, so we're going to keep an eye on it to see exactly what happens, right? But that doesn't mean that Meta won't bounce and continue higher, but we're going to keep an eye on it because if not, then we got a long way down. So yeah, everything is context over everything. How to give it I say market structure over everything. The market structure is what give us that context that we need. So yeah, we got that. And let me move on. Covered. Like I want to make sure I get the stocks I really wanted to cover out of the way quickly for you all. Post this chart in the chat too, because I know my team gonna want a meta chart. If they want context, they gotta watch the meeting. All right. Do I want to cover this stock? Do I want to cover this stock? I gave y'all some good ones, man, but this is we have a big week this week. But I just feel like some stocks I'm gonna save for my team. It's a lot of people from other communities. Let me hold up. Let me talk about this really quickly, right? There are some other stocks I am gonna cover. I have to cover some stocks that I typically don't trade too. But before I get to those stocks, I'm gonna still cover a few others that I know we should be covering, like MSTR. That was a big trade last week for us. But yeah, I know it's a lot of other communities that watch my videos and that be joining my community and sending people over to my community. We know about y'all, right? We already know. So I'll say this if you're listening. If you have your own community, why would you want to come to my community? And unless you're stealing, you know what I'm saying? If you got a community, I don't want to have nothing to do with your community. I don't want your members in my community. Send your spies. I don't want them here, right? Because I'm like, like, who sent you? So if you're here to steal. It's like if I don't I like healthy competition is fine. I'm not competing with anybody, but you know what I'm saying. It's like we're the best. You're supposed to be the best, right? So that's when I say competition. I mean like, we're gonna teams team pride, team spirit. We're the best. But don't what do you if you have your own community, why are you in my community? It's like you got people following you that look up to you or respect you and that's rallying behind you and you're secretly trailing my trades. That's weird. That's weird. It means you don't really have the confidence and yeah, yeah, just I don't get it. I don't get it. But I'm just letting you know. I know you guys are here and welcome to the team. But I'm just saying it's weird if you're stealing. And if I find out or I see anything, I'm gonna call you out. Matter of fact, y'all better it's all good. It's all good. Just it's not even that serious. But look at this MSTR trade, man. We traded this too. Really nice trade, and we got another breakout that's starting to happen here. Well, it just started here as well, and it's just on the move. It's doing everything it needs to do right now, and I like it. I like it for a continuation higher as long as Bitcoin. It's a lot of Bitcoin on that balance sheet, and so it's a lot of places that this stock can and extend to. silver. But yeah, they are here. There's a lot of them. And I'm like, damn, they got their own community. Why are they here? That's stock option savages. You got your own community. Get the hell out of here. Like, what do you want? Came to my community to steal from us. Like, get out of here. So yeah, they be here to steal from us, gang. Like, gang, they stealing. The men and the women. But anyhow, calls over 438.84 for a look, 438.84. Then we got yeah, if I said sorry, my bad. I had a brain fart. So 438.84 is the 52-week high too, right? So we got that, and then so I'm looking for a move to 452.46. So we got a nice move up from there, and then we got a few other levels. You see, it's this was a crazy move here that happened, and it came down. So we got some other levels that we can extend to up there, but that's what I'm looking for. You see this bullish flag breakout. As long as Bitcoin continues, we should be able to move higher. So we got that 50, we got that 52, and we got 460 and so on. Now, if we lose 423.50, it's going to likely fill this gap down here at 421.74. And then we got 413.78, 4 408.49, and 402.64. Keep MSTR on watch. I would not be mad at a healthy retest of this area here or a healthy pullback down to here for a continuation higher. So, keep that on watch too, MSTR. I told my team silver was running like a bat out of hell last week, and you see it's already marked up here, and you still moving higher because everybody was watching gold. Gold's been going right, but here's silver. Let me just show y'all where silver came from and where it can likely go. Zoom out to the weekly, so make things a little clearer here. Put some levels up here for silver, because silver's been on the tear, as you can see now. And it's just moving higher. So everybody's buying gold. Let's just keep an eye on this silver. Why not, right? So more things to look at. Wanted to mark up a few levels. Excuse me, to the upside. Excuse me. I said to myself when my 5:30 a.m. alarm go off, I'm gonna be done already. I'm still on here. I'm just getting started, I feel like. But yeah, they just getting started. Mark that gap. Man, I love the market, man. I love everything about the market. Can't even lie to you. Can't even lie to you. So yeah, here's silver. You see it's running like a bat out of hell right now. So over 3507, look for a retest of I'm looking for a move to 3654, and we got 3774 and so on. I drew a few levels up there. Now, if we were to lose 34.15, we got a gap fill down here at 33.75. Then we got 33.52, 33.04, 32.35, 32. So we got a few levels that we can hit there on silver. Let me hit IWM. IWM is an ETF that tracks the Russell 2000 or Russell 2000 tracks the small cap stocks. And you see we got a nice little 222 reversal here. So remember, a lot of times, when tech was pulling back, we had the Russell moving up a little bit because it was oversold. It was oversold. So it was like everything else was at all-time highs in the Russell. It's not. So It has a lot that it can reclaim here. But it's been retesting this 9 EMA. It look like that's what it's doing right now after the 222 reversal. So what I'll say is under under 221.57, look for a retest of 220.74, which is the 200, I'm sorry, which is the 90 MA. And we got 219.42. And, it looked like it'll probably bounce off of that. That's what it did before. So let's just see if that happens. But if not, we can possibly get a move down even lower. Now, we cross that bridge when we get there, right? But it looked like we can probably get a move a little lower down here to 217.47 and then possibly even lower down here to 214.84 at the 200-day EMA. Now, if we clear 223.54, look for a retest of, well, to take out the 52-week high at 226.05, and then we got 226.48 and so on. So we got some levels we can hit here. So it's trying to reclaim. And again, I like a nice retest. I tell y'all this all the time. A retest is good. Then we got earnings season starting. So we'll see what happens. You see we right here at this key level here on a weekly. We break through here and it's out of here. We're going to take out the all-time high. So let's just see if we can break through here. So just keep it on watch. Keep IWM on watch. Keep it on watch. The cues, the cues, the cues, the cues. Q, 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 Q. QQQ is an ETF that tracks the NASDAQ 100. So we have the technology stocks and some financial stocks in here. You know what? Speaking of financials, I got to make one note of XLF as in Frank, as in financials. XLF. Did I chart? What did I just chart? Oh yeah, let me put that in. Yeah, I can do that after the meeting's over, man. I'll do it after the meeting. So you see QQQ is just chilling here at this support level, this mini support area. When you at all-time highs, you got to take what you can get. And so we got this area right here, and that's where stock is chilling at right now. And so what I'll say, let me just mark up a few places. I don't really want to mark this chart up, man. If y'all see the way my meta chart look, right? My QQQ chart and a few other charts on my other profiles, they look like that. I want this one to be clean, man. It's just like it's so peaceful when my chart is clean. It's not chaotic. And I want to keep this one like that. Respect the integrity of the clean chart. So yeah. Nice volume on QQQ on Friday, I'll say that, right? So it held up pretty strong. And what I'll say here is over 555.79. Look for a retest of 557.63. Is that the all-time high? Yes, it is, right? And this thing can break out and go a lot higher. And earnings season could induce a higher move. Now, we do got CPI tomorrow. And it's a lot going on right now with the rumbles over the weekend about Powell considering stepping down. It's a lot of people putting pressure on him now because Trump is bullying the Fed. So it's he's bullying the Fed and I don't have an opinion on it either way. I'm just a trader, man. I just want to make money. So Trump creates volatility in the market. And let me tell KK, you didn't get on this meeting with me. You knew I was on here and you didn't hop on. I am live now. I've been on here for an hour. I've been on here for an hour. So yeah. But yeah, so this can go higher. This is a flag, man. If you look at it, this is a flag that's forming. This is the flagpole. If you can see the previous flagpole, and then here's the consolidation, and then the flag, and then we broke out. We went higher. So it's consolidating now. This can be broken too. It hasn't been, but it can be broken as well. So we have a We have a lot going on. But yeah, so here we go. This thing can move higher. It can definitely move higher and break out of this. And, 560 would be the next target after that, and so on. So just again, this price discovery at this point because we haven't been there before. I'm gonna judge it based off of the flag, the previous flag, so we can make a nice move on that. To the downside, if under 552.05, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna move that. No, 552.05. I'm gonna leave it there. Leave it there. We lose that, then we could possibly retest 549.82. And if we lose that, we got a nice way down here to 546.10 and then 543.05. Because if we lose that, then that'll be a structural break. And this thing comes down if that happens. So let's see what CPI brings tomorrow and we can go from there. Nvidia. I keep going back to Netflix. I don't know why. How did Nvidia and Netflix? They don't even sound alike. Nvidia. There we go. Man, look at Nvidia. Mm, 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 mm. $4 trillion company, first $4 trillion company in history, right? First company to ever do that in history. This is a very extended. This is a very extended situation, but I'm not mad at it because it's been. If I'm gonna zoom out and show y'all something. Look at this weekly chart. Look at this flag. So the stock broke out. It just took off and it's just been going. But the crazy thing is, it's not like in a golden cross or anything like that. It, like it still has like some room. Let me just see. Like I don't have let me just see something. That's interesting. Well, yeah, I remember the stock. They did a stock split. So that's why when you look at these levels and stuff here, this stock did a stock split before. So that's why it used to be we had all of these levels here and stuff like that. So this thing can this stock is known to move, right? And it's just breaking out. But that is a rising wedge. That is a rising wedge and rising wedge. But I'm looking at it like it's not that bad. But it's a little extended. It's at all-time highs here, but the market is going higher. And we had higher volume on Friday that took us even higher. So what I'll say is for Nvidia, we're gonna keep an eye on Nvidia, but we'll type in Netflix. Nvidia. I still think the stock goes higher. That's just all I'm gonna say. I say over 167.89. Look for a move to 170. You know, so we got 170 there, and we got other levels higher that we could extend to. But let's just stick to 170 for now. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. And for the downside, because we have to cover both sides. If um if we lose that 163.47, look for a retest of 160.10, which lines up with the 9 EMA and has been riding the 9 EMA up. If we lose that, then we can make a move down even further. Just gonna go ahead and line this up for y'all. We got a gap fill down there at 157.17, somewhere like that. I think that's 157.25, but just mark that up. And but then that'll be a we'll see if it retests that and break out and bounce off of there. But if not, we probably move lower. But yeah, that's cool. I like a nice healthy retest before continuation. I hate to chase all-time highs, but we at least give us a little bit of price discovery if we get that retest, and that's what I like. So let's just try to do that. Now I wasn't gonna cover this stock. That's why I was like, should I cover it? Because context is important. Let me post this chart. Context is important. Context is important. Market talk, market talk. Damn, where have I been posting these? Oh, I'm already said where I was been posting these charts. There it is. Video, video, daily chart. Yeah, so I was like, should I cover this stock? Because I mean, I don't want to. It's just something that I wasn't sure if I was gonna cover it or not. But I'm gonna cover it for the team. Verona Pharma. This is a stock that was just purchased. Oh shit, where did I do with my chart? Hold on one second. I'm trying to bring something up for you all. Did I do with the Okay, let me just cover this really quickly. Yeah, so Merck just bought this company for $10.5 billion or 10.8 billion, something like that. And well, just 10 billion. And the stock it gapped up and it's been holding in this area. I seen in the pre-market that it dropped all the way down to 103 and it looked like it's still under it's still at 103.08 now, but it dropped down as low as it dropped down to as low as 102.90 in the pre-market. And it's just chilling right now, but you got to watch this one because the fact that Merck just bought it and it could possibly go a lot higher. This was a smaller company and it just got bought by Merck. So it's been consolidating here for a move, right? So, and there were a few price target upgrades and then a price target downgrade on it. There was one price target downgrade from, I think, from 160 down to from 160 down to 105, which is currently around where it is right now. Then there was another price target upgrade that for the stock. I think that was one that took it, yeah, for to 160, sorry. The other one was a price target from 140 down to 107. So we still in that range, but you just got to keep this on watch because again, as you can see, this is what it's been doing here. And now that it's being bought, it's just been chilling right up in this range. It's been consolidating for it's gonna do something soon. I don't know. I'm just gonna wait and see what happens with it. But the next headline, whatever, but just keep it on watch. Just something to watch with time, something to roll. I'm gonna do Apple. I'm gonna cover Apple really quickly. Let me see if there were any other real stocks. Now, like I said, I got a lot of other stocks that I really want to cover, but I'm gonna save them for my team. Like I said, it's a lot of other communities here watching our plays and taking them back to their team as original plays, and they're everywhere, and they just the cockroaches are everywhere. What Cat Williams say? Them cockroaches tried to clean me out this holiday season. Um, Yeah, but this is a nice bullish flag that we had here. We'll see what happens if this structure holds because it's a level here, and it looked like that's where Apple is right now. So what I'll say for Apple is over 212.13. Look for a retest of 212.37, which is the 200 EMA. From there, 216.39, and then 220.88. If we lose that 209.86, look for a retest of 205.82, 203.90. Then we have so 200 is psychological, so they may hold it or buy it up at 200. But yeah, it's flagging right now. It looked like it's down a little bit in the pre-market, but it's flagging right here. So I would keep Apple on watch. It looked like let me just mark up this flag here. It's flagging right under the 200 EMA. You feel me? Let me see what the weekly look like. Yeah, Apple looks great. Apple's still holding up pretty strong on the weekly. You see how it broke out of this bear flag because it was bear flagging, right? Apple was setting up, structures are, to be broken. And the stock just kind of it broke out and it's been holding up pretty well. So let's see if Apple can give us a continuation. I mean, we did get the reversal and then we did get the continuation. It's just not enforced, but there we go. Apple look. I mean, that's why I say when in doubt, zoom out. It looks great on the weekly, and I love this 222 reversal here on well two. That's a oh damn. That's a damn. That's a 112. A 112. That's what that is. And let's just see what it does here if we get a move higher. But this is the week, I mean the monthly chart right here on Apple. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I'm very curious about what CPI does tomorrow morning. So I have to have a talk with my team, see how we're going, how the market starts lining up and setting up ahead of CPI and what we may or may not do with it. Because like I said, I've been just kind of, I don't know, but we'll see what happens with CPI tomorrow. I can't even call it at this point. It's just too much. Let me cover ARM, man. I want to just look at ARM. At ARM. That's why it's been. Ah, okay. So ARM finished at a key level, and because there was a lot of flow going in ARM, it was a lot of flow. So that's why I put it on the radar. It was just like so much flow going up in it. I'm like, what's up with ARM? Let me see what they're talking about. And futures down this morning, but they're trying to recover. And Nvidia's up in the pre-market. Let me just see. Yes, and ARM is just chilling right here, right at where it closed. But this is an interesting setup. Let me zoom out a little bit more before I cover it. Um, yeah, y'all see that? That's even clearer on the weekly. Let me see what the monthly look like. Oh yeah, ARM looks good right here. ARM looks good right here. I saw it. I got excited as soon as I saw it, man. Like, what the hell is going on here? So although we got this 223 came up here, rejected the 9 EMA a few times. It just can't for some reason get above that 9 EMA, but it's still holding this level. A few things can happen here. A few things can happen. And a lot of bear flow was coming into ARM on the for when we went over the flow earlier for the meeting when we were going over the order flow this morning, yet at earlier part of the meeting, ARM was the highest. It had the highest put options flow for Friday and for the full week. So it wasn't just a 1 day thing for but it's holding here at this level. Why didn't they drag it even lower? And we had the one of the highest put volume days for the week. It's been selling off all week long. Is it going to go lower? I don't know what's going on with ARM, but I like it at key levels. And that means we're just going to buy here at a key level. What it means is we're going to watch and see what happens because, it's been rejecting that non EMA. So what I'm going to say is if we're going to play calls, there's a few ways you can play this. You can buy it off of this bounce, but I don't think it's worth it because think about it. If it was to bounce off of this level right here, only place is going that's a $5 move. That is a nice move. But I want the big move. I want the move after it clears this area and breaks to the upside, right? I mean, but you could still play it both ways. It's like if um if it bounce here, then we know it's going to hold this level, and this level spans across like many months, even longer weeks too, and yeah, months, weeks, and days, right? So if it bounce here, you can play it off the bounce. But what I'm saying is this: if we clear 151.10, look for we clear 151.10, look for a move to one. I'm just gonna mark some levels up here to the upside too, because we got to do that too. Look for a move to 153.93. We got a few more. We got a lot of levels that this actually can extend to. Uh, and I don't even really like, I hate that. I just got to I'm gonna put as many as I can for there because why not? And to the downside, I don't really have to mark them because it's a lot of EMAs. It's probably going to catch price if we did get a move to the downside. But yeah, so as long as it holds up, I think it could bounce here. I don't know. Like I said, it's not moving in the pre-market or anything, and that's fine. I follow the price action. But if we lose 141.28, look for a move to what is that? Yeah, I said one 144.28. Yeah, look for a move to 141.27, 139.42, 137. And we can possibly drop even lower down at the 200, But we do got this golden cross that's happening right now. The 50 crossed over the 200 day and it looked like it's holding. Excuse me. I jumped up and jumped on this call, so I haven't brushed my teeth yet or anything. So yeah, yep. But yeah, I like ARM here. I like ARM. This looks good, man. And I got excited when I saw the chart. So keep it on watch. I'm gonna post it to my team. Every chart tells a story, man. So keep it on watch. And that's it for me this morning, fam. Again, the day is Monday. Happy Money Monday, everyone. And or whatever day you're watching this. And yeah. Was there another chart that I was supposed to cover? Yeah, there is one more. I never played this. So on Friday, so I'm gonna do it because last week, and if you guys follow me on Twitter, then you already know what I'm talking about. I posted when this thing first broke out on on um on Thursday. I posted it, but I deleted it because I didn't provide enough context. And I didn't want any of my team to think I was trading it or anything and chase me or something like that. And I just didn't want them to see, like I said, been careful because I don't want my team getting doing a lot of weird stuff. So I just gotta be careful with certain things. So I just haven't really been talking about certain things. But yeah, this stock is breaking out. It had a good earnings and it's breaking out and it's on the move. And there's a lot of places that it can extend to. And I like that. So we need to keep it on watch because at this point it's making these moves and it's hitting these levels that it hasn't hit in quite some time. Haven't been up here in a long time. Like looking last time we've been, look at this. This is August of 2022. We haven't been up there where we at right now. Haven't been up there since like July of 2022, so it's just hitting these levels and taking them out and going higher. Here's the monthly chart right here just to give you more context, so a breakout is a breakout and the stock is on the move. So you want to just keep it on watch. It's just hit every scanner that it could possibly hit. It's just been moving. It's just been on the move. So I say keep it on watch here. And so finished inside on Friday. A nice inside day is a neutralizing candle. So price can do whatever it wants to do off a reset like that. And so we do have a few levels that could be retested. I like how it did what it did there. But, you just want to keep an eye on the stock as a whole. What I'll say is over over 1941, look for a retest of 1975. And then we got 1996, we got 2099, and so on. I marked a lot of levels up there. If we lose 1794, look for a retest of 1740, maybe 1700. Then there's a gap fill right here at well, yeah, it's just the same place, like 1700 right there. Then we got 1646 and so on. But a nice retest of this area is not bad. But it neutralizing candle neutralizes everything, resets the move. Could just bounce off of this level and continue higher. We'll just have to see what happens. But keep it on watch. It's been on a tear lately. And you see it has a lot of levels it can extend to. You got to pay attention when stocks break out finally. That has been dormant for a while, but but I'm gonna tell y'all, this happened many times before. It breaks out, make a nice move, then it cools off, breaks out again, but we'll see if it's want to go higher. The volume's a lot different this time. Now, I'll say that. The volume's a lot different this time. I will say that. So keep it on watch. I'll see y'all. Peace. Hold on, I didn't cover any banks. How the hell? What the hell? No, so this is XLF is an ETF that tracks the financial sector. And I like how price came down here and it's sitting right here at this area here right now. And so I'm gonna tell you the reason I say I come right to XLF is because a lot of banks are reporting. this week. You know, the Bank of Americas, the Citibanks, the JP Morgans, etc. And it's hard to keep track with these banks. And then banks, they it's a lot with the banks, man. It's a lot with the banks. So you can just trade this ETF. It doesn't move as much, right? And it's a lot safer, and you can kind of cover all of the banks without, well, a lot of those banks that are reporting without all of the exposure to as much risk. I like a nice little flag heading into the print. You know what I'm saying? And we got something like that happening now here. So let's just see how it plays out. So yeah, but like I said, I'm saving everything else for my own team. You know, these people watching us, these cockroaches watching us, man, um, from these other groups. But yeah, so just keep XLF on watch, man. We got, I'll say, calls over 52.41 for a retest of 52.76, and then higher we got levels, and then we got the 52-week high up there. Now if we were to lose 52.08, look for a retest of, now I did put some levels here. I'm just gonna put a, so we lose 52, when I say 52.08, look for a retest of 51.40, and then we got the 50 down there at 50.89. And yeah, they keep running back that Trump headline, man. And VRNA just moved up a little higher too in the pre-market, by the way. I did not cover a hood. I kept, people keep requesting it, so I'm just gonna do it because y'all keep requesting it. There's somebody who, like a while ago, that said something about hood, and I mean the stock is going higher. It's just on the tear, it's going higher. You know, it's going higher. Nice bullish flag breakout, and excuse me, I'm not mad at it. Look like it definitely wants to continue higher. So, and it's a cheaper version of, it's a lot cheaper than buying coin or MSTR. You know, when Bitcoin runs and all of the stocks run, and you know they have exposure to it as well. I wonder how much Bitcoin Tesla still has on his balance sheet. Side comment though. But yeah, so this look like on some real look like it looked like Hood can make a nice move. The way this is moving now, and this like the way this is going, look like it can definitely look like it over. Let me just talk first. Let me do my levels before I start talking. Yeah. Because the people be trailing my trades. Let me tell y'all this story, right? Marking this chart up, I had some people who follow me on different platforms, I'll say, and they they were just in these meta plays, and I'm like, they think you still think meta going to four, I'm sorry, to 750. Now keep in mind, when I told y'all that meta was going to 750, meta was still under 720, and meta ran all the way up to 748, basically the 748. So, and if I'm telling you under 720 that it's going to 750, and it goes all the way up to 748, and you don't take profit, that's a problem. You know what I mean? So if somebody they bought Meta back then, and I mean those contracts were up like thousands on thousands, and they DM me, or no, they replied to one of my comments and was like, "Do you think Meta's still going to here?" And I gave them grace or whatever, but I'm like, listen, if a stock ran $30 from the moment where I said it was going to a certain level, you need that last $2 for you to take your profit? Like, come on now. But anyway, I said all that to say that, so when, just because a stock hasn't been somewhere yet, because I mean the way this chart looking, it look like Robinhood over 100 is going this 105, right? So if it goes all the way up to 104.50 something, you can take your profit. You don't have to wait for it to go to 105. Oh, he said it was going to 105. That don't mean it's going to tap 105. And it can tap 105. Sometimes most stocks pull back first before continuation. And I'm just saying that you just because you don't have to squeeze every cent out of a play, like the 80-20 rule, just take your profit. But yeah, so I don't know what these stocks gonna do. I make predictions, and I think that's a great prediction to say that Meta going to 750. Now, do I think Meta gonna go to 750? I do think Meta gonna go back up there, but at the same time, like I said, when I said that the stock was under 720, and I gave, if it do this, it'll do this. If it do this, it'll do this, and for it to make a $30 move, and yeah, just you got to take your profit. That's a move to me. That's a move to 750, all the way up to 740, 790 something. That's 750. You know what I'm saying? From under 720, that's 750. But yeah, you see, we got a breakout here on Robinhood here at the all-time high. So over 101.50, I'm looking for a move up there to, I think we can get to 105. I think we can get to 105. And obviously 102 would be first. So we're gonna say the first target will be 102. Gonna put a 102 in here. And we got 105. I think it's gonna go to 105, man. The thing is on the tear, man. If Bitcoin keeps going, we got the volume increasing. Everything looks great. It's on the move. And the IV is very high on it. Be careful. So I think it's going to 105, but we just have to see what story the price tells. The price action tells us under 97.33. Look for a retest of 95.42, 93.64, and possibly 90.91. But we don't really want that. A close under that level breaks the structure and it comes down. But it's been riding the 90 MA up, so I see no reason why it doesn't continue just riding the 90 MA up. Keep Robinhood on watch. Yeah, I'm gonna save the other stocks for my team. Y'all have a good night or a good week. Cheers.